shape of my life. Feeling good, yeah, looking good. We just spawned. Yo, indoor, outdoor, coming out southpaw.
All right. Good evening. Preston Jackson, BigCountyPreps.com. My associate, Douglas Pugh with BCP Pinellas. We're going to talk about the spring games, some observations, the environments, everything that the last 17, 18 practices of the month of May allowed the youth of Hillsborough County to come out and perform in front of their peers, provide the coaches with some, to see who's going to be able to play in the fall, basically. Doug was at the Jefferson plant game. We'll start there, then we'll move towards the Gaither Chamberlain game, then we'll touch on Temple Catholic game, then we'll come back to the Hillsborough cluster with Hillsborough Milton, then we'll move from there. So Doug, tell me first encounter. I heard that plant Jefferson game was an event, a spectacle to be at. It was a lot of fun.
Well, as I had posted on the Twitter account, that it felt like I had gone to a LA Lakers game with the scenario, the scene that was set. It was very calm at first, but then people started coming in, and you had what you would expect from a regular season Jefferson plant game.
Right.
Maybe to the tune of about 80-85% in terms of intensity, but it was definitely a tale of one team acting very much focused and wanting to pretty much show what they had, versus another team that wasn't going to go out there and just lay it down, but they were most certainly seeing how the pieces from last year could be replaced this year and what they could do with it forward.
All right, well, let's start from the beginning of the game then, Doug. Tell me, her plant came out with a little bit of surprise to start the game off with.
First play of the game, onside kick.
Onside kick from Coach Wheater.
Onside kick, recovered by Jefferson. Then next play from scrimmage, Quentin Williams, 2-step drop, 3-step drop, drops the ball in the bucket. Chris Moore goes up and gets it. Beautiful touchdown.
Was it Chris Moore or was it Andre Davis?
Chris Moore.
Okay.
Chris Moore had 2 touchdowns and set up another one, almost on all 3 identical plays.
Well, I think that's what we talked about earlier. Some people were getting Chris Moore and Andre Davis confused a little bit. Andre Davis, obviously, probably the second biggest name on that football team, and Chris Moore holding his own. Tell me a little more about Chris Moore's performance.
Chris Moore's performance was Division I worthy, and he picked the right night. He made catches in front of Florida State coaches. He made catches in front of Iowa, Wisconsin, right. Cincinnati. The boy did what he had to do.
Okay.
Jefferson played to their strengths. They have a quarterback that can sling it, that can also scramble. Ramik Wilson on a big long scramble. Andre Davis had a chance. He set up a touchdown with a key block. Right. You see it 50-50, questionable, might have been a block in the back, but it was set up by Quentin Williams scrambling around and evading James Wilder and dumping the ball off. And you saw Ramik Wilson at that point, once he got the block he needed, he took off. Eric Patterson looked like he had his own high school version of Revis Island.
All right.
Andre Davis had his moments. He had a few plays.
Correct.
But for the most part, Eric Patterson went out there and did what he had to do. It was, like I said, again and again, it was Chris Moore's night. Not to take away from Andre Davis, but Eric Patterson played just as well. He stepped up to his. It was just as much about Eric Patterson as it was about anything else. Okay. I don't take anything away from Andre Davis simply because he can do what he needs to do whenever he feels like he needs to do it.
There you go.
But I will say that you got to give credit where credit is due, and Eric Patterson did what he had to do on Friday night.
I feel great. Run 5.5 miles every morning.
Let's move to plant side of the ball. They're filling a lot of holes. They have a senior heavy football team. They're very green on both sides of the ball. But as long as you have James Wilder and you got Ely taking snaps, you'll probably be okay. Yeah. Tell me about performance from those 2 players.
Wilder had a couple touchdowns running, more along the lines of banging the ball. That was how they ran him.
Right.
Jefferson It was not, when Wilder gets in the open field, you're not gonna arm tackle or even get him around his legs, even if there's 2 or 3 hitting him. Saw a couple plays like that. It's just too strong. But he did manage to punch the ball in a couple times. Philip Ely, I gotta be honest with you, is one of the smartest quarterbacks at the prep level I've ever seen.
I have to agree.
The kid never made a mistake. Even he had a fumbled snap inside their red zone with the game where Jefferson could have easily opened it up and actually picked the ball up and was able to turn his body and then throw the ball out of bounds to save his team the loss of 10, 15 yards. It would have backed him up. He even made throws where you could tell it was intentionally overthrown so that he could, so that he could not give up the stupid pass of the interception.
Release the Kraken.
Chamberlain, coming off of a very disappointing 1-9 season. Gaither, I believe, is a 1-9 season also. Both teams looking to rebuild. Gaither has always been known for having a great running team. They've had some good running backs in the past, and Lindell Ross and Jarvis Jowell not too long ago. And Chamberlain with Dante Aycott, they ran the ball very well, and they're both trying to rebuild and find a way. Chamberlain has a very nice athletic quarterback. I believe his last name is Braxley. Sorry, I messed your name up, son. Very good quarterback. Wore jersey number 7. He looks about 6'1", 6'1"-ish. Very athletic. They've got the skill guy they've always had. They ran well, but they're going to have to clean up some of the little things, just like every other team. It's a spring game. They're going to have to clean up some things and limit their mistakes. They seem like they found a little rhythm towards the end of the game. They saw that the strength of the team was in the quarterback running the football. I anticipate them using the quarterback strength with his feet a little more come the season. Gaither looked the part. Their team, they had enough size. They had enough athletes coming out of that Carewood area. They always have just the right amount of athletes. They have the same type of build that Chamberlain had. Okay, they have an athletic quarterback and a running back that can run the football when need be. And they're still in the spread, but now their spread last year wasn't built towards what their quarterback could do, and I think their spread this year is geared more to what their quarterback's going to be able to do, and that's spread the defense out and run the football. He throws the ball well enough on the move, and their team can be A-OK. I expect them to be at least 500 this year. But for the most part, that spring game was slow. It ended up 7-zip with Gaither pulling out at the end. You had back-to-back interceptions. Chamberlain drove, Gaither drove. Penalties killed drives, just like a spring game you expect a spring game to do.
Theme for the entire spring.
That was the theme for the entire spring game, this spring season. But I expect Gaither and Chamberlain to be at least 500 teams this year. To get better in the years to come. Enough talent on both of those teams to cause some problems.
Better motivation, yeah, more challenge. CeeLo, craps, poker, blackjack, peanut butter with oatmeal, Chi-Chi's, Jack Mac, daytime blogging, nighttime jogging, Central Park following the car up the Harlem. A lot of people knew it's a lot that slept though. Calisthenics, lightweights, a lot of reps though. Ever since the weigh-in, I knew he was petro.